Hello, everybody, again on SimplyFoodea YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your cooperation and your great comments. Now we are in very important video or any important tutorial about the CCP. Our first CCP are the pasteurization. So when we come here and search for our pasteurization process, yes, so these are the process of the pasteurization. Okay, I've mentioned physical hazard, chemical hazard, and the biological hazard. I have added here a more numbers, critical limit, which is not numbers. Yes, numbers, but it was mainly critical limits, either 137.8 Celsius for 2 seconds or from 90 to 150 Celsius for 25 to 30 seconds. So our principle number 2, which identifying the critical control points, I have identified. So my CCP number was number 1. The pasteurization process are my CCP, and the process on the flow diagram, which is number 8. So we all know this 3 columns and rows. So the hazard description: survival of pathogenic microorganism, either Salmonella or E. coli. Establishing the critical limit. What are my critical limit for each control measure? My pasteurization process. I'm talking now about process. The critical limits of this process: ultra heat treatment (UHT), either 137.8 Celsius for 2 seconds or from 90 to 150 Celsius for 25 to 30 seconds. So when I defining the critical limits, I'm putting critical limits for the process, not for the output. Please, again, I'm putting critical limits or establishing critical limits for the process itself. Okay, the monitoring process. The 4 main questions: I'm monitoring which process. I'm monitoring the pasteurization, which is my CCP, as I defined it in the process risk assessment table as an CCP. What I'm monitoring? I'm monitoring 2 important things: temperature and time. What our temperature? I have mentioned it. And time, 2 seconds. What are other temperature from 90 to 150 Celsius and time 25 to 30 seconds. So what I'm monitoring, I'm monitoring in the pasteurization process. I'm monitoring 2 items or 2 things: the temperature and the time. Okay, how I'm monitoring this? Take careful, pay very, very, very accurate attention that any output numbers in your machine or in your industry, it must be calibrated: either temperature, time, speed, weight, pH meter. Any output of any machine or any equipment, the production of it are numbers. It must be calibrated in authorized place to have calibration, and must have a certificate for calibration, and this calibration must have shelf life. Not there is no calibration for the whole life. Each calibration must be updated, and we will inshallah explain this calibration program next in the prerequisite programs as general. Okay, so how I'm monitoring the pasteurization process? I'm monitoring it through calibrated thermometer and recorded the reading in thermograph report and calibrated timer. So the calibrated control panel also, or screen for time detection, it must be calibrated, and temperature time chart also must be, output must be calibrated. So how I am monitoring this? I'm monitoring the process of the pasteurization, the temperature and the time, by calibrated devices, either thermometer, a control panel, panel screen, whatever I'm controlling it. Okay, sorry, whatever I'm monitoring it. When I'm monitoring, so I've answered this question before: either each 1 hour or each 2 hours. Who will monitor the production labor each 1 hour and the quality inspector each 2 hour, or according to the agreed HACCP plan team, because it's not a decision of one person, it's a decision of HACCP plan team members. Again, this very important thing, the HACCP team. Remember, the HACCP process is not the responsible of only one person. There is many jobs are dedicated to stay or to have a committee and have a meeting at the HACCP team and or food safety team or food safety program team or the quality team. No, it is the HACCP team. Okay, this HACCP team are people from the or laborers from the quality department, from the production department, from the maintenance department, from production, from purchasing, from sales department, from warehouses department, and later on, here's the warehouse manager, for example. Okay, and later on we'll have the HR, and we will know later on why the HR must be included in the HACCP plan, because the context of the industry and context of sorry, the context of the facility must be under the umbrella also for the HR people. Okay, so let's go back. We have finished the monitoring. So what about the corrective action? Again, what I'm taking corrective action, establishing of corrective action. We have learned it. When I'm saying corrective action, so I'm meaning if there is any what deviation exactly. So what I'm monitoring, if there is any deviation in the pasteurization process, this deviation are in what? Either in time or in temperature. So I'm saying the unpasteurized product is to be converted to waste and packed in special and colored dedicated waste containers. This is the output. So if there is any deviation in the pasteurization step, what I'm doing, I'm having the output, which the unpasteurized product can be converted to waste and packed in special and colored dedicated waste containers with a defined root cause analysis RCA or corrective and preventive action kappa. When we come back to our flow diagram here, you will find our pasteurization process. So I'm mentioning if the product, I can repasteurize it if there is any issue in the pasteurization process. So, or I can make it waste. So all this flow diagram need to be updated, and I will update it with you, because I will, after finishing my HACCP plan, I will audit on it with the most famous standards. So one of the findings now, there is not mentioning here what if there is the output of the pasteurization process is not accurate. So I need to repasteurize the product or convert it to waste in colored and dedicated waste containers. When I'm having this corrective action, when there is any deviation in the two main parameters of the pasteurization, either the temperature or the time in the ultra heat thermometer, ultra heat temperature of, or there is any issue in the pasteurization machine itself and the equipment, who will take the action? The quality inspector must search with other co-workers, production and maintenance, responsible for the root cause of the pasteurization failure, either for error temperature and time readings or due to complete pasteurization technology failure or other reasons according to the result of the documented root cause analysis. So now I am trying to have all the data about the pasteurization process, do it again in our hazard plan and hazard analysis. So I'm saying here that the proper, here the control mechanism. I'm talking about the proper pasteurization in the mentioned temperatures and time and temperature and follow up. So through what? Through follow up document. There must be an evidence for this follow up. Either there is weekly internal calibration or external monthly or each 6 months calibration process for the pasteurization machine itself. If there is any monthly preventive maintenance or for the pasteurization machine, and microbiological analysis for the finished products is a very important evidence that I am monitoring the pasteurization process in the top accurate level. So how can I monitor the effective? result of the pasteurization. Also, we can mention here the output. Sorry, the what I can mention here if the microbiological examination or samples results are out of specs. Sample results, okay, are out of spec. So here is the deviation I have mentioned either in the pasteurization process, either in the output of the pasteurization, which is clean product. Now I'm mentioning there is no clean product, so I'm taking and defining and establishing corrective action. Thank you so much, and I hope I can explain as I can for the establishing of the corrective action. And I don't think any place on the internet are explaining this as a plan as our channel are describing it. Please don't forget to share and subscribe our content, and best of luck of all of you, and goodbye.